Now, the first mistake that I see a lot of beginner golfers make is they try to set up to the ball with their arms in one line with the shaft. Now, this causes a couple of problems. Golfers who do this often do not use their wrists properly. Now, the wrists are a really important power source in golf. They make for a lot of club head speed. And we use the wrists in the golf swing in this fashion. This is the only thing that we do with the wrists. It's the cocking of the wrist or having a wrist set, and then at impact, we release that wrist set. And this gives us a lot of club head speed, which creates ball speed. Now, the second problem that this creates is one of balance. If you set up with your arms in one line with the golf shaft, you are pretty far away from the ball. And once you get down to impact, you will probably have to lean in. And you see players with this swing fault have a problem maintaining their balance throughout the swing because they are so far away from the ball. Now, what we would like to see when setting up to the ball is that you're close enough to the ball to have your arms hang straight down. And we want to see that diagonal line of that shaft moving forward. You want to have a gap of air of about a fist width between your grip and your legs. Now you're in a proper setup with your arms hanging straight down, allowing you to use that wrist set for that club head speed, and you're close enough to the ball to maintain your balance for a proper golf swing. Now, another thing that I see beginner golfers do is they set up to the ball with an iron without any forward shaft lean. Forward shaft lean is when we point the grip towards the inside of our front leg, pushing the hands forward to promote a more downward swing. We do this because we want to strike the ball first and then the turf. But beginner golfers often think they have to help the ball up in the air. But this is not true. We do not need to help the ball up into the air. The loft on the club head will take care of the launch of this ball. All we need to do is we need to make sure that we hit the ball with the club face first. So, especially with an iron, we need to make sure we have a little bit of forward shaft lean. When we set up to the ball and press our hands a little bit forward, having that little bit of forward shaft lean, this will promote a more downward attack angle, making sure I strike the ball first and turf later. No more fat shots, no more thin shots, just clean contact. Now, another thing I often see with beginner golfers, and in more experienced golfers, I often see this with ladies, is that they set up to the ball with their knees locked. Now, if your legs are totally straight with your knees locked, this severely limits the amount that your hips can turn. Look, if I lock my knees, this is about the amount of turn that I can get in my hip, which in turn also limits the amount of rotation I can get in my upper body. If I unlock and relax those knees, look at how far my hips can now turn. And this will increase the amount of rotation that I can get in my upper body. And remember, rotation is the primary engine of your golf swing. So the next time you're on the range, check your knees and make sure they're not totally locked up, but nice and loose and relaxed. That way, you can make proper rotation and swing that club. Now, while I'm on the way to demonstrate the next setup mistake, make sure to like and subscribe. And also, if there is a setup mistake that you often see on the golf course, make sure to post it down in the comments and maybe we can take care of that in a next video. Almost all golfers have a certain shape to their ball flights. Now, for most beginner golfers, that is a fade or a slice. A fade is when a ball starts straight or a little left of the starting line and then curves to the right. We call it a slice when that curve to the right becomes a lot bigger. Now, that fade or that slice shot is created most often by a club path coming from the outside moving in. If your club head comes from the outside in, you'll cut the ball, giving it right spin, which will cause the ball to veer right mid-flight. Now, what a lot of these golfers do to compensate for that slice shot is that they aim more to the left. So they open up their feet, aim more to the left, but now, of course, they're coming more from the outside. More cut on the ball, more side spin, and just increases that slice. So if you have a problem fighting that slice, don't overcompensate by aiming left. Do the exact opposite. Don't move your front foot more to the left, causing you to stand with an open stance, come more from the outside. No, take your back foot and move it back. That way you'll promote a more in to out swing. And this in to out swing will actually cause some side spin to the left, giving you a little bit of a draw. So if you are scared of your slice, don't overcompensate and do this. Don't aim at the left side of this fairway to make sure your ball ends up in the middle, because probably your slice will just be bigger. So if you're fighting a slice, do the exact opposite. When you set up to the ball, make sure you drag that back foot a little bit back, giving you more room, promoting a more in to out club path. That will make sure your slice gets smaller instead of bigger. Now, the last golf setup mistake I want to talk to you about is golfers not having the proper focus before hitting their shot. I would like players to take one more look at their specific target before they make their swing. A lot of times I see players, focusing on their target. They make a practice swing, and then they set up to the ball, and all they're doing is they try to get into the ball, try to get into their head, thinking about a lot of things, and never again take a look at their target. That is not the proper setup. I want the last thing you see before you look at the ball and make your shot to be your target. Now, the more specific you can be, the better. In this case, I want to aim for that tree that's just to the left of that pin. Because the wind is coming a little bit from that left, I want to hit it into that wind. That's going to be my specific target. And right before I make my swing, I take one last look at it. That's going to be my main focus.
Alright, that ended up a little bit short of that green, but I sure am happy with that line.
Another thing I see a lot is players struggling with too much tension in the golf swing. Now, if this is you, click this button to find out what you can do about it. If there are other things you are struggling with in golf, make sure to let me know in the comments down below, and I would really appreciate it if you could leave a like. And also, if you want to see more of our videos, click that subscribe button. All right, this is the coach signing off. I'll see you in the next one.